in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, everybody. This is Box Guys. We're talking about Canada. A-O-A. You know, because they say A.
Oh my God. Bruh, you're fired. Yeah.
How can you be fired from Goss?
Easy.
That's my question.
I'm telling Dad to disown you.
What?
What?
This is news to
That's
us.
how I get sacked from Box Goss.
Yeah,
I get disowned.
Yeah, you need to be disowned. Hey, that's a really hard way, actually, because Mom and Dad love us.
Well, they love me.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Wait a minute.
I mean, I was their firstborn. I turned them into parents. I gave them
mistake.
joy.
You were the first mistake.
Let's talk about mistake. Let's talk about mistake.
All right. We have a great Canada GP show for us, but not a lot of tea to discuss. I mean, it's been a pretty slow week. I mean, to be fair.
Yeah, true. Week, actually.
Yeah.
But let's get to that with our guests, right?
Right. Yes, we should get to that.
So our guest, we are so excited to have him on. You may know him from his recent feature in Nylon right next to Quick Stop F1. We are ecstatic to have this content creator, and we're gagged, honestly. He is the realest. He is like the baddest in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jake from WolfPack.
What's popping? Hey, I appreciate you queens for having me. Hey, what's happening?
Oh, it's so good having you on. How are you doing?
Yo, I'm doing great, popping tall. I'm just excited and very appreciative of you all inviting and even considering me for real. So, and big flowers to y'all. Y'all queens in the game. Y'all be doing your thing for real.
Thank you.
Sorry, y'all. You can make me tear up, and it's
honestly, I feel like we're more appreciative to have you on the show. In all honesty,
I like that exchange of energy. I like that.
It's worse in person. It's worse in person.
Hey, I love y'all energy for real. Like, this probably gonna be one of, outside of my fan Quick Stop, this probably gonna be one of the most legit ass shows that I've been on. Like, where you could just be like, "There's some real shit y'all popping off."
I mean, that's what we're here for.
That is high praise coming from you.
That is real high praise. Thank you so much. So we have to know about your origin story.
Right.
We have to know. So please tell us, what made you join the magical, mystical, amazing, glamorous world of F1?
I'm gonna tell you, like, straight up, it was really on some like reactive situations. Like, I've been watching Formula One, before I went in the military, really off and on. I can't even remember the first race my grandfather took me to, and rest in peace to him, but I don't even remember. So I consider like my first race CODA. But anyway, I was watching Formula One 2019, boom, was awesome. You know what I'm saying? 2020, then we came 2021, and it was like, this shit is really going in. I said to myself, even Max, he's coming up, but Lewis is still the GOAT. And so I'm watching that race, and through that, the country was going through a lot of shit anyway. We were going through a lot of injustices. We were going through a lot of law enforcement killing black people in the street. We were going through the whole thing with Breonna Taylor, Philando Castile, Eric Garner. We were just going through it. And then the situation occurred with Lewis. And I was like, damn, they just fucked my bro on TV. And and everybody sitting here, like, some of these people are celebrating, like, dude, Lewis got screwed on TV. And when I sat there and I was watching him in that car, I knew a bit about what he was kind of going through, but not fully, because if you've been a competitor in anything and you competed the best you could and you didn't get the result because of something that was outside of your control, it sits on you ridiculously crazy, like even after the moment, because there's nothing you could have done. So you like, somebody just stole something from me. So I knew that's kind of what he was going through. And I just said, you know what, because at that time my platform was off like car and motorsports, as far as like building. Like, I was doing DIY projects. I'm real big like in the car scene. So I've been in like Super Street Magazine. I participated in the film in the Fast Five, so I got to be on set with those guys. So I'm real big like on that. That's why I got some of the drag racing trophies. My daughter, I just got her in the kart. And so I was like, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen to my platform as far as the avenue that I'm in right now when I go on, but I'm like, I'm finna use my platform and I'm finna speak up about this shit. I'm not finna be quiet about it. Like, people need to be boisterous. If you got any type of platform, like, echo the fact that Lewis just got screwed. And that's what I did. And then from that first video was just raw. It wasn't no type of nothing. I just turned the camera on and went off. And then woke up the next morning, it was an influx of comments, like an influx. Some of them was like, you know, you N-word, or you can go back to NASCAR, but it was an influx of people like, yo, this is some real shit. Like, nobody's talking like this. So I got another rash of comments was like, stay your black ass out of F1 type situation. And so it really kept going. And I'm the type of person, like, when confrontation comes my way, like, it revs me up. Like, I'm like, let's go then. So I said, you know what? I got on camera one day and I told him, I said, you know what? Since y'all want to see my black ass out of Formula One so bad, you're going to have to get used to seeing me. And then from there on, I was like, I'm staying. So they was like, you ain't going to make it outside a year and shit. I'm still here. So there it is.
I love it.
I love that.
I love it. That's awesome.
I mean, that's kind of why we're also here as well too. You know, we have every right to be in any space that we want to be,
right,
especially as Black people. Like, it is, you know, we have right to take and claim space no matter what. And
right.
I mean, that incident, look, I mean, a lot of our viewers, or a lot of people that know us, know where we stand on Abu Dhabi 2022. When we were broken up about it, we watched it live actually. I surprised my sisters and flew into Ghana was able to watch it live with them. And, you know, I was getting ready for a celebration. You know, we were back home, like in our other home, we were getting excited, and for that to happen right on screen. And I feel like, you know, I've remembered incidents like that personally in my life. I had one just happen to me this week, and like I totally empathize with the situation, and I'm like, I'm never not going to stand up for things like that. And I hope that our platform will be something that we know that we can express to everybody, and not even if you're Black or not, or a woman or not, like we will stand up for you when we see that there is something wrong going on. And I think that's just the most important part, for us to take space and be a part of it. So, like, thank you. Yes,
thank you. During the pandemic, I think we saw a lot of the things that people of color go through, like on a daily basis. And like, we saw that like on the news, we saw that in F1. And like, the thing is, I think the reason why, I know after the race, during the race, actually, 2020 Abu Dhabi, I cried. And like, people in the room came up to me and went, are you okay? I'm like, no, what the hell? Like, what the hell was that? But I think it was because like, we had like, us as a community, not even just like Black people of color as a community go through BS like this every day. Now to see it in a space where you care about, you know, and you're supporting a driver you care about, and you're supporting a whole organization that you actually care about, and you see the BS that was just thrown at one driver, and you're like, this happens to me, why is this happening to this person, you know? It sucks. It really truly sucks. So one big reason, I mean, the reason we started Goss was because of my best friend, actually. She was like, and she's German. God bless her. I love her. She was like,
he got y'all to turn up.
You guys are so funny.
Shout out to the
F1.
German, got y'all to turn up.
Yeah. She was like, you guys are so funny watching F1. Like, watching F1 with you guys is so much fun. You guys should start a show. So we started a show. And then we started talking more about, we need to have her on, actually. That's very disappointing that we haven't had her on. But she was, after Abu Dhabi 2020, we didn't really know what to say when it came to talking about F1, because we didn't want to be too problematic. We didn't want to be too truthful, because we wanted to get fans. But the thing is, like, there's someone out there for everyone, and there's someone who will always want to watch your content, and there's always going to be someone who doesn't want to watch your content and wants to be an ass and wants to hate you. And that was one big thing that we had to learn, you know, with starting the show. So honestly, kudos to you for still going, because I know there are a lot of people out there who would start get an influx of hate comments, and stop.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing is that I feel like everyone knows what happened is wrong. Someone even brought it up in a good context that in like coming into sport, you would always rest assured that that it would be fair, and that we all watched it go against that whole premise. And it's just like it was just unshakable, and there's a sense of grief within watching that as well too, because it's just like, what just happened? And now it's like, and even though it's like we can't, and it's like there's an issue of a double speak, because it's like we can't have a serious conversation about it, but then afterwards, but you're ready to milk this shit and make jokes about it, and it's just like, it's so not right. And the thing is that hearing people come out and speak about it years after this has happened, it's just sad, because it's like, I mean, we could say, I mean, there is a discussion about why they didn't say something in the moment, but then there's also them coming to realize that maybe there's that realization that it's just not right, and it's just like, we all know it's not right. Yeah. And it's like, it feels like there's a refusal to do anything about it. And it's just heartbreaking, because you want to maintain that you have control over this thing, but you're not even willing to admit that you're wrong.
Yeah. I think though Lewis, still picking it up and still racing after all that is very
big facts,
because
that's big dude shit.
All of us in this call have been through some kind of injustice, whether big or small, and we've still waken up the next day and still gone on to go to work, still gone on to go to school, still gone on to do whatever we need to do. That's just, it's literally like I feel like his F1 career is a very big, like, it's very similar to everyone's POC, like, life journey. You get, for lack of better words, fucked in the ass, and then you wake up and you do it again. Like, do it again. Yeah, like, and then you wake up and you go to work and you do it again. Like, it shows resilience. And this is to say that the other drivers who are not people of color, don't do that. They have their own story. I wouldn't know that story because I'm not white. But like, the thing is, we're all very resilient, and I think Lewis has, that's why a lot of us are Lewis fans, because we see a lot of similarities with our life and his life. That's a good point. F1 career. Hopefully one day the money will also reflect in my bank account, but we'll see.
Yeah, there we go. Righteous. There we go. Get the bread. Get the cake.
I think that's why a lot of Black people, because I don't like it when people are like, oh, you're just a Lewis fan because you're Black. Yes, like, yeah.
Right. Like, there's something wrong with affiliating myself with greatness and the likeness, but a lot of people have a problem with that, and they want to stop you from doing that. That's another thing that a lot of people do in the space. They don't want to let you have the satisfaction to affiliate yourself with greatness, because they already don't like the person that's great. So they don't want you feeling promoted. They don't want you feeling positive. They don't want you getting an amplified deal and like taking off from that, because they already don't want you in the space. So that's what that represents too. Like, they don't like the face. That's why they're such in a rush almost to replace that face. They don't want that face to be prolonged going on in Formula One history. Like, we got to look at this Black man with these dreads, drive this car, be the best driver in Formula One. Some people feel like that. Not everybody feels like that. So everybody that doesn't, I always say a hit dog, a holler. So if you hollering right now, then you probably are that type of person. But if you're not, then you feel what I'm saying, because my community is built up of a diverse amount of people, white, Black, no matter what, different walks of life, you know what I'm saying, different choices in life. And that's what I love about my community, because it reflects what a lot of people says I wouldn't be able to do, so like, screw them, fuck them.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with us on this show. The pounds of people that we've had that have been fans from across the spectrum. We've had Black people that are Max stands. Great, awesome for them. We've had, white people that have followed Lewis for ages. Awesome, great for them. You should never feel like you can't be a fan of something. We have people who are Ferrari people. God bless
Thank
them.
you.
You guys
Shit, they
need a
going
lot
through
of
it.
rest.
They going through it.
But like, you know, like, you know, people are fans for whatever reason. And like, they shouldn't take that away from us. People are fans of Max because, yeah, now he's doing great. Great. Why shouldn't we feel like we can't be Lewis fans because of his greatness, because of his proximity to like excellence and all of that sort of stuff? I mean, you know, I will never feel ashamed for who I support. I mean, I love Alex Albon because I resonate with his story. He has gone through a lot of adversity. I don't know why he's affiliated with Red Bull still, but okay. Like,
actually, he's no longer affiliated.
Even with his mom.
Yeah.
Pardon?
He walked away from
Even with his mom, you know what I'm saying? Like his mom not being allowed on the grid, but then you got Max Verstappen, punk ass dad. He can come out there. Meanwhile, he done manslaughter, vehicular homicide. He done assaulted drivers and it's okay for him to be out there, right? So that's what I mean by the double standards within the game. Like that's crazy. But Alex's mom, that's not a violent crime that she committed. You know what I'm saying? And how many women, there's single mothers or whatever the case, been in a situation like she got to feed these kids and she trying to provide for dreams. Not saying what she did was right, but hell, what Mr. Jackass Verstappen did damn sure wasn't right. But he cooled up in the paddock, right? So that's what I mean. I don't like the double standards.
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. So I mean, look, this is a conversation.
But again, this isn't us knocking. We're not knocking any fandom for being a fan of someone. Be a fan of whoever you want. Dead ass. No one gives a shit. Like no one cares if you're a fan of Alonso, of Lance, of Signs. No one cares.
Oh, man is in trouble.
Oh, please, relax.
Talk about
relax. But
trouble.
We're like, no one cares who you're a fan of. Be a fan of whoever you want to be a fan of, no matter what you look like, no matter like what you associate with, no matter how you identify. Just like being a part of the F1 community and being a beautiful person in the F1 community is really all we really care about. If you're not, if you're a dickhead in the F1 community, please.
That's what you are.
Where you come from.
Right.
Yeah, we don't want your negative energy in this space. Already the F1 is associated with a lot of negative things. And if we have a toxic fandom, then we're just proving people who don't like F1 right. So let's all be, you know, kind people, no matter what you're affiliated with. You know, if you're a Max fan, I might not serve you at the farmer's market, but that's not because I know. I'll serve you. In fact, I'll probably strike up a conversation with you about F1. But like, just literally all I'm saying is just be kind. Just be a nice person. Just be like a beautiful person in the F1 space, and you're good to go. Yeah. And that's something like we needed to talk about that. That was a good thing to talk about. I'm glad you brought that up because the three of us needed to speak about this on this platform. And I don't know why, I think we were just scared too. And I'm happy you brought it up.
Don't be. I always tell my community, like, be more. I tell people that's not even in my community, like, we should be more cautious on how we treat each other versus how you rep these drivers, because these drivers don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know you. The teams don't even know you. Like, what kind of relationship? But you come to the platform and you comment in social media, so you really have more interaction with each other. So why piss on me? I just recently had to tell somebody, like, the world is small. Like, you talking crazy, but you never know where we gonna be, if we might see each other, or if we have to end up working on some type of project. But you shitting on me, but then I might see you, and now you got to work together. So it's like, you got to be careful of how you talk to people. You got to be careful how you come off.
Yeah, especially in this community. This community is tiny. We are not like the Premier League. We are not like the NBA. We are a very tiny community. And it's only now starting to grow. So like, it is very important that we treat each other, even if you're not, like, with a lot of care, because there is a likelihood chance that you're probably going to meet the person you are shit talking. Then you are going to meet your driver. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Like, let's just all be like a little bit more realistic. So that's why I think we've approached this platform as like, we don't care who you are. If you like the sport, we're down. Like, we may not agree on favorite drivers. We may not agree on favorite teams. We may not agree if Helmut Marko is a particularly pleasant, nice human being, you know, but like,
He did good.
Well, that one may be a bit of
You did good on that.
He needs to be put in a retirement home. I'm gonna say it now.
Right. Go ahead and blow.
Put in a retirement home.
He needs to be put in a, the only time he's done actually a decent thing was when he stopped Max from doing that event, I think, in Germany, which I think Vettel is doing. Only because he knew what Max will do, and it will be a very interesting and potentially dangerous situation. So good for you, Helmut, for doing one decent thing this decade. So, but yeah, like I think, you know, that's the, I think it is important that we had this conversation. I think Afi is right. We didn't know how we would approach it though. We have very strong opinions, but like I think it's important to talk about it because these conversations are still happening. Like AD 2020 fixes keeps trending.
Right. That 2021 shit ain't never going away. I tell people all the time, it's never gonna go away. It's always gonna
go away. It will never go away. It will never ever go away.
Did Fernando Alonso crashgate go away? No, we still talking about it. You know
no, we don't.
It's rearing its head. What's it called? Felipe Massa's coming back. Felipe Massa,
he tried to come back for the championship that he damn near ain't get. Ferrari screwed you, Felipe. They screwed you in the pit. You're never gonna get that. But still, he coming back for it. Like, come on. And then you had a shit race after that, bro. Like, you couldn't stay on track. You spun out. You killed every opportunity, and your Ferrari fumbled it up like they fumble it up right now. So that's never coming your way. But I do like you fighting that. You should go ahead and point out the injustice that was done. And do that. But like your championship, bro, that's gone. Like that. I mean,
no. And even rumor has it is that Felipe Massa was kind of egged on to pursue it because of Bernie Eccleston. So it's
right.
He's not in a retirement home
either. We thought he was in jail as well. Like he got arrested. He was in trouble in Brazil because he carried some things on a private jet that should not have been carried into the country. I thought he was out in gold.
But that's private. Like that's private. Like he's carrying it on his private jet. Like what's that?
Yeah, but that thing still got to cross country lines. You still got to cross international lines.
Listen. I'm all for making money the way you want to make money. Okay,
I heard that.
And I'm also all for taking whatever you want, wherever you want. So Bernie Eccleston, if that's what you want to be doing, by all means, do your thing, man.
You know there are consequences.
Right. That's what Boosie just tried a minute ago. Boosie, damn, you can't take shit everywhere you want to take it if you on paper. you gotta be watching out for them people.
I'm just talking. Afi, are you encouraging money laundering or any other illegal activities that may or may not get us into trouble with YouTube guidelines?
She said, however you can make that money,
listen,
make it.
If you're not, listen. If you're popping pussy or you're committing crimes, listen. No, wait. Hear me out. Wait, hear me out. If you're popping pussy or you're committing crimes, okay, maybe rethink the way you're making money. But if it's working for you, I see no issue.
Who am I to tell you what to do?
I agree with that particular scenario. That's one I'm okay with. We need to move on. We're gonna get
we're gonna get demonetized. I mean, if we get ever entering into a paddock, we're probably going to get demonetized on YouTube. Hi, YouTube overlords!
Yeah.
Please don't demonetize us.
Yeah, please don't take us down. And if
please don't take us down.
We are valid. I stand by it.
Wow. Anyway, we should move on to the rest.
Go ahead. What you got? The Canadian GP.
The Canadian GP. I don't know why I put Spanish here. Okay, so the Canadian GP. So congratulations. Let's start with the results. Congratulations to Red Bull for your 100th win. Lewis,
congratulations. Lewis did that shit by himself. Yeah. Congratulations, Red Bull. As a team, you've reached what Lewis has reached by himself. Good job.
Congratulations. And Verstappen, that was, I mean, look, it was a decent drive. Well done for them. Second went to Alonso. I mean, what I was really hoping would be Lewis, but you know what, Lewis, well done for third place on the podium. Right. And congratulations also to Alex Albon for driver of the day. Very well. Congratulations. But I want to start with Ferrari. We didn't get to Ferrari last time, and I really want to start with Ferrari.
Let's go.
Ferrari,
Let's go.
Ferrari is a shit show.
Let's go.
We've been new.
No, not we've been new. They also been new, but now I think Leclerc has had enough. I think he is actually aging. We haven't seen a new single release from him since Miami. I think it's just all pain at this point in time and just emotion. I mean, like, he is just, I'm so surprised. So, like, there's a lot of things about it. So, like, I was surprised that, like, they didn't pit under the safety car at lap 14. And I feel like they're one of the only few drivers on the track that are able to talk back to their engineers being like, fuck you, we're not doing that. Like, I think Sainz said they wanted him to come in at around, I forget, it was like towards the end of the race. And Sainz was like, I still can get it. I can still push. Please leave me alone. And then they're like, okay, fine. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Not running good strategy.
I don't think they go into the race with strategy. I think they just say, go.
They go like from what I call, they got a strategy from A to Z. I've never heard any other team go into like Z strategies. Like we go into Z, like Z. Where the fuck was the rest of the alphabet? When did we lose all that? Like, come on, like listen. For what Ferrari has done to Fred Vasseur is told his ass to make beef Wellington while they shopped at a goddamn gas station for the damn ingredients. You can't do that shit. You can't do that, and you can't make beef Welly in under 24 goddamn hours. Chef Ramsay will have a heart attack. Ferrari is killing themselves. Everybody's still hanging on to the livery lunch. Yeah, they had the shakedown. That was the best part of their season. The rest of it's been shit. Come on, like for real, y'all got to stop this, man. Y'all got to stop. Like the Ferrari fans are as bad as Atlanta Falcons fans. Like Falcons ain't never won a goddamn Super Bowl. It's probably not gonna happen. Ferrari is so long removed from being great. It's not even funny right now. I'm just saying, like Ferrari fans, I really send a big shout out to y'all. Y'all come on over, man. Here's a spot. Chill. Get yourself together. You know, whatever we got to do, counseling. I'm with you. I'm for you. I got it. I was rooting for him too.
Like Ferrari definitely need the counseling, but look at the bright side. They won Le Mans.
That's a fact. They won Le Mans, right? So that is something that maybe they need to try to tap into that one side. And it was a shit long time before they did that too, but they did it. And I'm gonna tell people right now, if you on here and you talking about Antonio Giovinazzi just doing like he's a great driver, no, listen, in Formula One, he came back and tested and still couldn't drive worth shit. But it's good that he found a place, because I think what that means is if you can't compete in elite, there is somewhere else for you to land your feet. And that's where he can probably compete at. Like, that is a real thing. Everybody can't play in the NBA. Some people play in G League. Everybody can't play in NFL. Somebody play XFL. Everybody's not meant for the elite stage, and maybe he's not. Maybe that's where he need to be.
True. I mean, that's where...
Also... Sorry, I know you're exactly going to say. Go.
I mean, that's what happened to Brendan Hartley and Giancarlo Fisichella and so many other foreign drivers. They struggled in Formula One, and then they went into the World Endurance Championship, and they flourished. And I genuinely hope they stay where they are, and they are happy where they are. Like, look at that smile on Antonio Giovinazzi's face when he was waving that flag riding around Brunello. And also, they don't give Rolexes out at the Monaco Grand Prix. I'm just saying.
Please, I'm not setting fire to the house.
What were you doing?
I'm not setting fire to the house. I'm not setting fire to the house. I'm sorry. I was trying something. I wasn't saying fire to the house.
And it failed. Anyway, as we're recording. Well done. I want to also point out Juan Pablo Montoya in NASCAR as well too, and Romain Grosjean in IndyCar. Those guys are like doing the thing. I think they're really finding their level. I think not everyone can compete in F1. We are learning that very quickly with some of the back market teams at the moment. I mean, Nick DeVries is still...
No, I was just about to say, old Nicky. Old Nicky, not louder. Listen, that's what I'm saying. God damn. No, that motherfucker, listen. Goddamn Helmet Marko. That's Helmet Marko's version of the Dogecoin. Like right there, he sold the shit out of Nick DeVries coming in his mother. I was like, damn, he right. Nicky is great. He got the resume like this long and came in and just shit. Yuki was like, let me show y'all something. You gonna disrespect me? You was like, I got you, bro. Nick DeVries ain't been shopping for shit for Avatar. He ain't brought nothing home. Come home every day, bro.
Well, he did have that amazing. He did have
you
that.
You gonna talk about
battle.
when he drove with Williams like last season?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
what
that
were you
was
gonna
good.
say?
That was good.
I mean, it was a good drive, but
It was.
I mean, in the Canadian Grand Prix, Nick DeVries actually ended up into the back. Had that amazing battle with Kevin Magnussen, where they ended up in the safety car in the service
runoff area.
Yep.
That was it. He was channeling his inner Max Verstappen right there. That wheel-to-wheel driving that Max Verstappen does so well, push you wide and just stay in it. That's what he was doing. And they pen pal buddies, they van buddies. They traveled around, had campfires together. So it's only right that he channeled some of that. So I understand.
They're countrymen as well too. So it
there you
makes sense.
go.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he channeled it circa 2015 when he had a website. Around that time when he had that or circa 2017 when he had that website, did Max Verstappen crashtoday.com. Yeah.
He had that website?
Are you serious?
He had a website.
Yes. It was Pastor Maldonado, it was Max, it was a lot of people who had Did They Crash Today.
So now Nick DeVries has his own website now? I'm confused.
I don't know if Nick.
No, she's saying that Nick was channeling Max's energy during 2015 when he had that website.
When he was crash stopping.
Yeah. When he was crash stopping.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Went right over my head. Yeah, nope, fair enough. But yeah, I honestly think that Red Bull has a way of just spooking their drivers. Like, like they put them in AlphaTauri and then they treat that as if they're in Red Bull, being like, if you people do not get us anything, your ass will be on a plane back to where you came from. Like,
and then they do. And then they do. They send you back to where you came from.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
That's how we lost Albon. That's how we lost
Gasly.
Who was before? Yeah, Gasly. That's how we lost.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad loss though.
That's how we lost Brendan Hartley.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Carlos Sainz, he got out of it. But that took a lot of
But he signed a new contract with Ferrari. That was a level up.
Big fact.
It was
that was McLaren. He did McLaren first and then he went Ferrari, right?
Yes, Sainz, yes.
Yeah, because he was with Lando. He was with Lando for a little time.
Yeah. I forget his Lando years. Yeah.
Right. He pulled the chair from under Lando for real. Jump ship, got the hell on. That must be a Spaniard thing, because Alonso do the same shit. They like team hop. They must be like some team bots. Like they just like the team hop around. Like it's just crazy.
Alonso just doesn't want to leave the sport. That's my opinion.
Not before Lewis. He got to hold on to that attendance record title he got going on right now. Every GP that like he broke another record. It's the same shit last week, right? He just showed up, right? Got you. Attendance. Get it.
Another record that he had already set.
Right.
I think Alonso, but also Daniel Ricciardo pulled same stunts as well too. The way he went from Red Bull to McLaren
Renault. He went to Renault, then he went to McLaren, then he found his way back in the Red Bull in the reserve. And I often say Danny Rick messed himself up. He was chasing the bag. I felt like when he went to Renault, he should have stayed there with the building process, and he jumped too early, because I honestly think some drivers perform better within certain environments. Red Bull is a very high pressure environment, right? And it's already toxic somewhat. So if you're in there and it really not vibing with you as a driver, and you don't feel like you got that support system around you, I think the same thing with Alex. I think the same thing with Gasly, and the same thing with Ricardo. And it just didn't thrive after that. So now it's kind of like, hey, you know what? We a shit show. We got bad PR. You're a funny dude. Why don't you come back and run some of that for us? Because we damn sure Max is not marketable. So yeah.
No. I absolutely agree with that. I mean, look at Alex Albon now in Williams. He seems to actually be thriving.
Right.
With a car that's not that brilliant. So, like, I think, it just proves that, like, there is, not everyone is cut out for, like, the cutthroatness. I don't know how Checo is able to manage it. I think
Checo is just such a personable guy. Like, Checo is such a For lack of, okay, because I can't find, I genuinely cannot find another word for it. Checo's low-key a doormat because like he'll just do it.
Boom.
He'll just do it, and he'll just follow instructions and he'll just do it.
He the yes man. He the yes
I think
man.
exactly.
He's a lot like
Yes,
Bottas.
that's better. I think that's why he's doing so well, because not only is he just like doing it, but he's delivering with what he's meant to be doing. Well, okay,
In the last
relax. For a period of time, he was delivering.
Right. There we go.
With what he was doing. At the moment, he's, you know, he's a little bit vexed. I don't think he wants to be a yes man anymore. But yeah. I think that's something you need to consider, because Checo, he was delivering what Red Bull wanted, and now Checo is like, wait, what the fuck? What about me? When can I?
Or was he delivering what Red Bull wanted? Do they really want to think about this? Like, a lot of people criticize and say Max is like, he trashed his teammates, like he just beats them up. But Max has not had any teammates to the stature that Lewis Hamilton has had. Lewis Hamilton came in with already Alonso, who was a champion. What driver can you even think of that Max has had that equals Alonso, that even equals Bottas? He ain't had that. They don't really want that. They don't really want a number 2, a solid driver that might be a 1.5 next to Max. It's not what they want. So I think, you know, Perez is the yes man. And I think sometimes he gets out of his zone to what they want him to do. And he's like, oh, I can really do this shit. But no, bro, that's not what they want from you. They don't want you to really do it. They want you to do what they need you to do.
I would like to think back also to the Red Bull dominance years with Vettel, the four years, because I want to think about that real quickly. I think they also won constructors as well too, and I think his teammate was Mark Webber. Am I correct?
Yeah, Mark Webber.
I think it was Webber.
Yeah, so like I'm kind of wondering why that sort of level, like why, like, I mean, I guess you are right. They tend to like to pick a driver that is incredibly talented and potentially young, nurture them, build the team around them to when the point that they are ready, they just take off. And that's what they did with it. It was a formula that worked very well for Vettel. It's a formula that is working now with Verstappen. But the problem is that any other driver that is that's in their pool will always get fucked. If you're not the golden child,
right,
you will not get the treatment that you deserve. Mercedes at least tried with Bottas. That's why Bottas stayed for, I think, that long. But I think Bottas was ready to spread his wings and become a number 1 driver in another team. And I think Mercedes was like, we're kind of tired. George Russell is looking like he wants to take it and put in that space. We're okay to do the switch.
Yeah.
So like I think, but like Bottas won with Mercedes. He had wins with Mercedes.
Right.
Bottas has had some wins with Red Bull too. I think he may match actually how many races he's won in comparison to Bottas, I believe. But like, I think, you know, Red Bull's environment and energy is just a lot different, and it works. And it works for them.
It works for them, right? It works for them. So I don't knock it.
Effie.
I think something to also consider, especially with Bottas, when Bottas was in Mercedes, because I know that's when I can reference F1, because that's when I started paying attention to F1, when Bottas was in Mercedes. But those years Mercedes was dominating, you know, and I think to keep team like morale up, when there were races and they're like, oh, okay, we've made a big enough gap between this champion, like first place and second place, right? When they were like, oh, we've made a big enough gap, Bottas, go for it, race. I feel like that was the mentality. More so that I feel like that's how they were able to keep team morale together, because like they built a big enough gap and then they said, okay, Bottas, you've done your job, go and race, go race, but follow instruction, you know, small. But the thing is with Red Bull is consistently always Red Bull, it doesn't matter if the gap is gigantic, it's always Max is first. Checo, do your job. I don't want to hear from you. That's right. That's just my logic that's what I think. I don't know if it makes sense, but that's what I think. That's how Mercedes was able to keep better morale. And that's why Bottas stayed, because at least he got opportunity, especially when they were dominating, opportunity to at least do his thing and race.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a fact.
Which is just why I think George Russell should calm it down a little bit. in my opinion, for that reason.
Yeah,
they had seen it because like George Russell, babes, he's a talented driver, very talented, but he has to admit he is number 2 to a 7-time world champion. Like,
right.
You will be a number 2. What have you done to prove that you are number 1 in comparison to him? Don't ask for team orders every single minute. Please calm down.
Yeah.
You want to get it. Don't ask again. Sit down, finish where you need to finish, and then we can see. Like, I feel bad for him for Canada because he had an amazing recovery drive, and unfortunately, he was forced to retire the car. I thought they would make it to the end of the race after that incident. So, like, I'm
way too much
sad
shit came off that car.
Yeah,
a lot.
I saw the wheel. Like Ferrari had to catch, the Ferrari mechanics had to catch it. It was very yeah.
And it's like it took a while for them to repair the barriers as well too. So
yeah. Can I ask? Is it just me?
Sure.
Maybe it's just me, but is it just me? Like when you're watching a race and someone crashes out, spins out, something happens, and you just hear cha-ching? Because that's what happens. All I hear is
with the cost cap.
The cost cap. Right.
That's
cost cap.
all I hear because I mean, right now I've gotten my first job. So like now
Congrats.
Thank you. It's hard. But I'm making my own money. I don't want to spend. I'm still asking dad for money. I don't want to spend my money. Why should I spend my money? I work for that. Let me and that's so whenever I see someone spin or crash or with Nick and Magnussen, when I watched that, I had to close my computer for a minute because I just thought of my bank account. It was really painful.
I mean, Afi, you remember Australia? You remember how many retirements there
was?
Ooh,
that shit was crazy.
All the money that was almost the
Gasly cost ran it up on Alpine. Gasly ran the checkup.
So expensive. It's already expensive getting everyone there. And then you crash your cars while you're there. Wow.
Coming all that way across the world.
Just to crash.
To upset.
You've come all this way just to crash.
Honestly, I think that's what Fishika was hearing in her head when we were at the race. It wasn't the sound of the cars going by. It was
that cash register.
And then even one of the cars in the support races caught on fire as well too. And that was a big cha-ching.
Oh my God, that was a lot. That was that was
a down payment. That was a loan on the house.
That's why I say you had you screamed because you were like, I heard just money flying out the window.
I heard money flying out the window too. Like
when when what happened to George in Canada after he retired, my first thought was that's where my ticket went to. That's where my ticket. That's what my ticket is being used for. That's what the $900 or something that was paid being used for to fix that. Oh
damn!
The pain.
Which, by the way, if you come back, can we get in for free next time?
Heard. Like let them girls in for free, man. They doing something. Represent the culture.
We'll do all the content for you, we promise.
Right.
And we'll be good at it.
We gotta wrap up, guys. We have to wrap. We're pretty much where we have to wrap up. I think I keep forgetting to do this with our guests, but I'd like to give you, Jake, the final word on how you felt about the Canadian Grand GP. You know what you're expecting out of the rest of the season.
Okay. Go. I think the Canadian GP showed a bit of what updates becoming upgrades. I think it was pretty excellent that Williams coming in with the largest amount of updates and changes into that race, and then not having the most amount of time that they should have due to Gasly, due to the CCTV systems, due to the weather. And for Albon to come out 7th and bring points home in a car that they just got updates on, I think it speaks loads of what Williams could do. Williams, to me, is the team that I call the angel that fell from heaven, and I'm hoping they get back one day, and I think this is an excellent start for them, so salute to James Viles. I think to all the people that say the side pods were predominantly the problem at Mercedes, I think you got proven wrong. Ferrari have changed their concept on side pods, and they're not doing shit. Williams and McLaren changed their side pods when they abandoned it with Mercedes, and it really didn't go all that super fast. So you do need to understand I know you see the side pods and it looks sexy and you want to put it there, but we're in a ground effects era with the floor means a shit ton, and the floor was changed, the side pods were changed, and suspension was changed. So it's a combination of things. I also want to say to Ferrari fans, I hope, like I said, you got a home to come to if you need to get your hopes up. And also I want to say that I think this is probably the first race where the second position wasn't 2 digits off of Red Bull. So two things are happening. Either teams are developing at a rate where they are starting to catch up, or Red Bull is not developing at a rate in which they did before and they're starting to fall back. Either way it goes, the grid is catching a point to where it will be competitive, but don't get overzealous. We still got 2024. It's not going to be big and happen this season. So we'll see what happens there. And I also want to say big shout out to Yuki for doing what he's doing, and McLaren kind of coming out of the dumps a little bit and seeing some promise in Oscar. The only rookie right now grabbing points. Logan, the most recent American on the grid, was supposed to represent 9 points. DeVries, 9 points. Oscar's grabbing points. He's driving good. And I think Lando right now has a very competitive teammate, but Lando's still giving him that big brother thing. So I think we got a lot to look forward to in the season. So yeah, it's looking good. Canada showed us a bit.
Yeah, no, that was an amazing that was amazing. I mean, I took the words out of my mouth, and I think the important part is, I think that was a very important part that you hit on, with the fact that for the first time this season, there was not a double-digit second gap between Max and the rest of the second place finisher. So it is exciting to see that. And even I think it was in the commentary that, and I know shit, this was supposed to be your final moment. Just they were just saying how like the battle between Alonso and Hamilton, how that would have been so exciting if Max was removed from the situation, because that would have been a great first place finish, because that was also pretty close between them too. But it didn't happen. So definitely it's going to get more competitive, but this season probably is going to end up with Red Bull.
And I will add this, that Aston Martin did bring updates too, and it did prove worthy. And I did do a live earlier, and I said this. I know a lot of people, and I'm not knocking you because you got the right to think it, and I think it too, Red Bull could be screwing Perez. But there is an example on the grid that you got to look at if you're going to try to be fair. The AMR 23, Aston Martin's car, we know Lance has his spot because of his dad. His dad ain't going to let nobody screw him over. Look at the gap between Alonso and Lance. So you're going to tell me that Aston Martin screwing Lance? You're going to tell me that Lawrence is going to let a mechanic detune Lance's car? So to be fair, you got to look at it, but I still do understand looking at Red Bull because of all the shit they done, breached the cost cap, all the racist shit that's happened, all the things they've said. Christian coming on radio saying, don't worry, Max, he got lucky because of the safety car. Helmut Marko deeming Perez a drunk on the track. So you right to think all the dirty shit about Red Bull, but we still got to say, does Perez hold some accountability? So like I said, Canada was a pretty nice package, and I appreciate you queens for inviting me on.
Thank you so much for having us, and for being, not even having us, but for being here. Thank you so much. This was such a fun show, and we appreciate you being here. Is there anything that you want to plug right before we head on?
Stop by, Wolfpack. We do all types of things. We got trivia games on quality type days on our live quality, and I give away money. So like the winner of the trivia games, I send out $50, $25 gift cards. The contributors, they get VIP boxes. We also do the finale lap, and I got F1 Minute, which is the hottest live talk show where you all get to call in and you get to have rebuttals, say your part. So I'm trying to give a part of my platform to people in the space, not just content creator. I'm talking about you all there in the comments. So when you come on, you get to come on video and debate with me. So all you haters that be in my damn comment section talking that shit, I done invited y'all several times and you motherfuckers never showed up. You want to know why? Because when the sun come out, ratchets and roaches scatter. That's what y'all do. So when I go back inside, then y'all want to come out the little shadows and talk your shit. But I done gave you the opportunity. I invited you. So y'all come kick it with Jay of Wolfpack Performance, Twitter, the F1 Minute, Instagram. Plus I got the songs on iTunes. So, we kicking it big time. So come see me.
Oh my gosh. Yes, you should actually you should take him up on it. I think the offer still stands. Please catch Jake on all the platforms, as he said. Please catch us on also all the platforms, Box Goss, on Twitter, TikTok, where we also talk a lot with Jake as well too, and Instagram as well. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, Pit Crew. We will see you in 2 weeks at the the Red Bull ring. We're going to Austria. Bye.